Wearing black trimmed with red and weighing in at 214 pounds. His professional record, 21 victories with 6 KOs to his credit, 12 defeats. He comes to us from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Timber Jack Basting. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, trimmed with red and weighing in at 242 pounds. His record, 29 victories, 26 by knockout. Only 3 losses in his career, from Warsaw, Poland, and the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. Here is Andrzej Gołota.
Okay, gentlemen, you've both received your pre-fight instructions. I expect a clean break at all times. Any questions here? All right, let's have a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
All right, our matchup, as you can see, Gołota with a big 35-pound weight advantage, 6-inch height advantage, 6-inch reach advantage, and the only thing that Basting has going for him is 11 years in age. And the fact that he's a southpaw and rushing Gołota as we start right away here in round number 1. That's Basting's in the black shorts with the red stripe, charging Gołota, who's in white and red. We've been joined at ringside by Kevin Kelly, and of course John Saraceno's here along with myself, Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal. Scheduled for 10. After taking a 6-month layoff after a devastating knockout to Lennox Lewis, this is Gołota's second fight in 30 days. And Kevin, coming off a knockout loss like that, what goes through a fighter's mind and to get himself back on track and to be taken seriously as a contender again?
Well, the one thing that you want to do is you want to establish yourself. You want to get yourself together, get your head back together, and build confidence. What happens when you get knocked out is that maybe you have a little doubt or self-doubt in your head. Gołota right now is establishing himself. He's trying to get that winning streak back again, where his last fight's not a loss, it's a win, which is confidence for him.
No holding, no holding.
Looking to put 2 together, and I can't explain what just happened to Basting. Can you, John?
He's got a bad right knee. You can see that brace, and that knee suddenly went out on him, Arnie.
A little more than a minute gone by here in the first round, and Basting certainly showing a lot of heart and taking the fight to Gołota.
I talked earlier today with Basting's trainer, and he mentioned that if Jack could go long enough, he thought it would be an interesting fight. Maybe he was talking about that knee.
Basting's last fight came against Joe Hip, and he did go to distance with hard-hitting Hip back in March. Prior to that, he had a 2-year layoff, and that was after a 1-round knockout to Johnny Ruiz. Basting has been stopped 5 times in his career. Coming in tonight, 21-12, only 6 knockouts, and he is a southpaw.
Well, the big thing is I talked to Gołota earlier, and the biggest thing that Main Events is trying to work on Gołota is patience and discipline. The whole thing is to keep his punches up and take his man out slowly as a fighter, as a boxer, utilizing a jab, utilizing an overhand right, combination punching, not just going for the knockout or using dirty tactics. Guys, right now, as you see, are testing him. This guy's kind of awkward. Some punches actually look low, and to cause Gołota to lose discipline. Well, I believe Gołota is staying very focused right now.
I would say right now, along the lines of what Kevin's talking about, Gołota seems very patient, and a big left-right combination drops Basting's back, and picture perfect. Gołota seems very in control right now, both of the fight and his emotions. As we're under 20 seconds to go in round number 1, this is scheduled for 10. Gołota, of course, very heavy hitting, 26 knockouts in his 29 wins as we come near the end of round number 1. Very good round for Gołota that he punctuates with a big right at the end of round number 1 on the explosion. Round number 2 scheduled for 10, and Gołota punctuated the end of round number 2 with a good right, but then, just as Kevin Kelly was saying, he wants to be in touch with his emotions and be in control. He went after Basting after the bell for no reason.
Well, I don't know if that's no reason. You know, Gołota, it's very hard to control your emotions. Very hard. You know, when a guy falls in love, he can't control his emotions. So I'm sure here, it's hard to control his emotions when he gets angry or frustrated. So Gołota right now is being patient. Ronnie Shields, who was a great trainer of his and a great fighter at one time, told me, he said, the biggest thing we're working on is discipline, more than boxing, discipline.
Now, are you trying to say that he's in love with Basting and he can't control his emotions?
Well, Basting is very awkward, throws a lot of weird, profound punches. As you can see, catches Gołota with punches that should upset him. So he has to control himself at times like that.
Nice jab from Gołota.
You see Andrew also not using the classic right-hand lead against the southpaw. He's taking his time, and he's still jabbing.
Well, John, I'm beginning to wonder a little bit how much experience. I know Gołota used to spar quite a bit with Jeff Wooden, who's a southpaw, but in his career, and certainly recently, I really wonder if he went heavy into southpaw sparring.
Well, he's fought a couple of southpaws. Andrzej Smith was one of them. Stopped him in one round in Las Vegas. That was several years ago. But, you know, the footwork, getting it down with a southpaw, that's one of the key things. And also staying aggressive with a southpaw. And Gołota is taking the fight to Bastings. And as Kevin mentioned earlier, a very awkward fighter to fight.
We're a little more than halfway gone here in round number 2. This is scheduled for 10. Andrew Gołota. Yes, the same Gołota that 2 disqualification losses to Riddick Bowe and a first-round KO loss to Lennox Lewis on a comeback trail. Beat Eli Dixon just a little over a month ago. 6-round knockout.
And he was very patient in that Eli Dixon fight. He showed a lot of control. And that's what he needs to show here tonight. We'll see when the bell rings in the 52 seconds if he has control. And I punch the man after the bell was rung.
Nice jab by Gołota. Basting looking very worn right now.
You know, Ernie, if you think about it, Gołota's only had about a round of action the last year and a half. I mean, he was off a while, so he is still trying to shake some of those cobwebs. And, of course, losing like he did to Lennox Lewis, he lost a lot of confidence, and they have to slowly rebuild that in him. A lot of people might be wondering, why is Andrew Gołota fighting a guy like Jack Basting? They want him getting used to being in the ring again, getting his composure back, learning what he has to do to be a successful professional heavyweight.
And exactly, building his confidence. The main thing with Gołota right now, after the devastating loss to Lennox Lewis in 1 round, is confidence.
All right, well, we're coming to the end of round number 2, and I would say Gołota has to feel very confident as he's really controlling Basting and rocks him with the right at the end of round 2. 3, Andrew Gołota. White shorts, Jack Basting, and left. No knockdowns thus far in the fight. We were talking between rounds, Kevin. You're a southpaw, and you know how guys normally would want to fight a southpaw. Right-hand lead, left follow-up. Yet the jab's working very well for Gołota.
Well, one thing, if Basting's not jabbing, maybe it's because that front leg, the front right leg is not allowing him to jab. He's not jabbing. He's not keeping Gołota off of him. Gołota right now is actually out-jabbing Basting. And that should not be happening, but Gołota is a very patient, conservative fighter right now. Beautiful jabs just now Gołota landed. He's got a very good jab.
And let's not kid anybody here, too, Arnie. He's fighting a guy who's 41 years old, who's a journeyman, who's a very light hitter. I mean, let's face it. Nevertheless, he doesn't have a lot to keep him off.
Went 10 rounds, though, with Joe Hipp as recently as this March. He's been stopped 5 times in his career. Johnny Ruiz iced him.
Oh, good body.
Norris.
Yeah, but that was then, and this is now.
Left-right combination, and Gołota really teeing off now on Basting. Basting showing a very good beard.
Also, Gołota going to the body, taking some of that steam out of Basting, if he has any.
Oh, big left by Gołota, rocks Basting.
And he's just methodically breaking him down right now, punch by punch. This fight is close to being over. Let's see if Gołota can finish it.
Right now, Basting's trying to survive. Referee's looking very closely at Basting. I think he's about to stop this fight.
Rudy Battle could jump in at any time, and Basting
turning
his head
his back.
through the ropes. Let's see what Battle does here. Battle's telling him to go in and fight more. We still have over a minute to go in the 3rd round.
Andrew Gołota right now should be able to finish this fighter off.
He is a seasoned veteran, been around for years. Right now, Basting is right there for the hitting.
Gołota, really, Rudy Battle should stop it, and he does. Good stoppage.
Well, Basting stopped that fight because he turned his back on Gołota more than once.
Good stoppage, and a lot of heart shown by Jack Basting, perhaps too much for his own good. Well, Kevin, let's talk a little bit here. We said What he was looking for tonight was to show patience, get his emotions under control. On a scorecard of 1 through 10, what would you give him in terms of patience and emotion?
Tonight I gave him a 9 because the first round when he punched him after the bell rang. That one little slip is all you need to lose a fight. Gołota showed great patience otherwise than that, keeping the punches up above the waist, okay, tonight, and put his punches together. I think Gołota's on his way back, as they say he is.